Hello, this is the sixth lecture of the Semantic SEO course, and we will talk about the title tag. The title tags are the processed version of the raw topical map. Basically, in the raw topical map, we just write entity and attribute or entity attribute pairs like Germany religion, Germany climate, Germany politics, or Germany cinema. But when it comes to the title tag, we start to verbalize them. And to be able to verbalize these raw nodes, you will need to understand one thing. You have to have always one macro context of your web page. Every web page should have only one focus, one main focus. Do not go for other things. Create only one web page, but only one for that specific context, that specific entity and attribute pair. Do not try to dilute it that much. And after you're reflecting your actual macro context on that web page, always you should understand that that specific web page also will have a micro context section. Inside the micro context, you will need to talk about slightly from different things. And these different things will need to be able to connect to your source context and your central entity and your central search intent at the same time. And that's why I believe ChatGPT is useful, because semantics, they require really good amount of linguistic capabilities and really good amount of critical thinking in a creative way. But when it comes to ChatGPT, since it is already a large language model, according to your configurations and instructions and commands or the prompts, it is able to give you a kind of understanding. So it might be easier for you to think in that way, especially at the beginning. And when it comes to the title tags, we have different types of title tag writing methodologies. One of them is using a conjunctive word like and. And usually if you use the word and inside the title tags, it means that we are actually using a conditional synonym phrase, costs and conditions of living in Germany. As I say, always we actually change the meaning of the words inside the search language. So the cost and the conditions, these things are different in dictionary, but here they mean the same thing. As you see, my topical map actually tells that life in Germany, but we made it living in Germany. But life appears inside our URL, and we will talk about this section inside information tree construction. Another example here, religion and belief structure. The religion and belief, we use these things actually here as substitute terms to each other. And we talk about climate and fauna, politics and political, politics, political, Germany, German, and geographic or topographic, let's say, and crime rate and safe cities. Here, for instance, we slightly expand our context just a little bit. Because in our topical map, we won't be writing every city in Germany, but to be able to include all these entities with a specific type of context, we add this here because crime rate is relevant to the word safe. Now we add cities which is relevant to the Germany, and we can actually rank all the cities in Germany there. Then for the most important ones, actually, we can connect it back to the visa section for living or for taking education or whatever your visa type is. So if you need to include certain types of entities in your semantic content network, you can use these type of opportunities as well. And here we have a different model. For instance, here we have entity attribute pairs. This is the entity set. If you use a plural word with a noun like singers, it already reflects a set. There are many different types of individual instances under this group. Then here we have their attributes like their works and awards. Same happen here too, like writers, their works, and German literature. This is a mixed version because here we write entity, this is attribute, and this is conjunctive word. Then we write another highly relevant specific unnamed entity, literature and writers, they are connected to each other. And when it comes to this part, it's a little bit different. Here we have a class, German celebrities, then we have individual samples, poets, authors, actors, and musicians. So in this section, actually, we can tell this is hypernym and these are the hyponyms. If you check the lexical relation section, I believe you will be able to understand it in a better way. One more thing that you should understand in your title tags is that search engines can actually directly directly aggregate all the terms inside your title tags. They can check what words appear most inside the titles to understand your overall topicality. That's why when it comes to the course section, we repeat some certain types of words. And these are sometimes just visa, application, fee, documents, or let's say requirements, entry, tourist, or apply, which is a different lemmatization of the application, or getting, and some other types of contextual terms. We try to include these areas. And usually topical entries, they reflect the overall topicality. The contextual terms, they usually reflect in what way we actually process that specific entity inside our documents. In the next lecture, we will talk about this part, the information tree, but we will repeat or expand a few sections from here so it will be more clear. See you in the next lecture.